Over the last couple of days I've been working on the details in this area. Those were all prerequisites to doing the ground cover in this area. Anyway, now that all those are taken care of, I can clear out the area and get some ground cover down. In addition to removing all the freight cars, I've also taken away the crane, the silo and the front overhang on the building, because I need to give access to this area around here. The pipe bridge I would like to be able to remove, but I have to do the ground cover in situ because I have to get the dirt around the edge of that, because this concrete slab here actually comes away as part of the unloading apparatus, whereas everything else, it's firmly attached to the benchwork. Well, I've gathered together all the stuff that I need to do this ground cover. I have some tools here. I have a plastic spoon, a paintbrush, a foam brush, eyedroppers. I got these from Walmart recently. This is the first time I've tried using these. I just unwrapped them a few minutes ago and I realized that one of them has an angled end. I'm thinking that'll be really useful. Then I have white glue in both full strength and dilute versions. I have isopropyl alcohol to wet the area with. I have sand from my backyard which has been dried. And that will be enough to do the first step. And then once I've got the dirt covering everything, I can start adding greenery. I have a couple of different colours of fine ground foam. I have some older stuff this has got hairspray mixed in with it because it's left over from tree making, but it will clump together and will make the smaller bushes. I have the larger bushes there, I'll put a few of those in, and some little bits that broke off my super trees while I was assembling those, and all those little bits, they still get used. So let me just turn the camera off and I will be back in a minute. I've been dumping dirt down around the edge of the building because I need to cover the black line. So dump it in place with a spoon and then just shape it with the foam brush. That works for most locations. And when I glue it in place, of course I'm using a white glue which won't stick to plastic, so the building will still be removable, but it will look as though it's firmly planted. Around in this corner I found I needed to use a smaller brush to poke in around behind the rail stops. So there we are. And then let's go around the back side of here. Okay, here I am using an eyedropper to soak the area with a mixture of alcohol and water. The alcohol is in there to break down the surface tension so that the water doesn't mess with my fine granules. I've never used the eyedroppers before, but I'm actually finding it a lot better than the mist sprayer that I have been using up until now. So I think I'm going to stick with this method in future. Now I use the other eyedropper to dribble dilute white glue all over everything that I've already soaked. And once again I'm finding that the eyedroppers are so much better than just sticking my finger over the nozzle of the bottle. And they're really cheap too. The 2-pack that I bought, I paid less than $2 for. So even if the one with the glue gets totally plugged up and is only good for one use, it will still be worthwhile. Well, that's as far as I'm going to go today. I've got all the dirt in from the bridge to the corner of this building here, a distance of about 5 feet. The only piece I've left out is the area in front of the pipe bridge. I'm a little concerned about embedding it too deeply because it's very fragile, and I want the option to be able to slide a knife blade in underneath this side just in case it's sticking. Well, I've got all the dirt down in this area. I've also taken the opportunity to finish the ballast shoulders. I had to come back and add some dirt in the bottom of this ditch because what I had the first time was a nice neat colour separation between the light ballast and the dark cinders, which didn't look at all good. So I've softened that line. Well, I've glued down a whole load of ground foam in various colours around the edges of the buildings and in other places where lack of traffic and lack of maintenance would allow vegetation to grow. And then I've had to go back with the eyedroppers all over again. It would have been a lot quicker to have glued the dirt and the ground foam down in one operation, but it wouldn't have been as controllable. I felt it was better to take a little extra time doing it this way. Well, I left all the glue to dry overnight, and this morning I've put everything back where it belongs and switched out the industry again. For the most part, the project turned out satisfactorily. The only area I'm not very happy with is around the pipe bridge. The problem was that the sand was working its way underneath the styrene, causing it to sit on top of the dirt instead of in it. And then when I tried to scrape it off with a chisel, I managed to chip away a couple of areas of the dirt that I wanted to keep there. So I'm going to have to rethink that, but that's a project for another day.